It's no secret that Matt and I are in love with Allison Brie, so it should come as no surprise that this week we're reviewing somebody I used to know. Joining us this week is somebody we haven't spoken to since episode 4 of the podcast, Michele.
Hi.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chad, and you've tuned into episode 97 of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, it has been 93 episodes since we've spoken, Michele. Well, let me rephrase that. Since you've been on this podcast, we talk offline.
Yes, we do.
So, it's good seeing your smiling face. Sadly, just Matt and I are seeing your smiling face. Sorry, YouTube listeners. But it's good seeing you. Not to get too into it, but I saw a couple other old faces from the old days today. I went to a wake of a previous coworker of ours, and I saw a lot of old faces, and I saw a lot of faces that I could not put names to, but they remembered my name, and I was just like, I feel embarrassed. Like a couple of weeks ago, I remember you told a story, Matt, about how you were out with your mom and somebody ran into you from high school. And you was just like, no, I'm not even gonna try.
Hey, if that means I had a lasting impression on that person did not reciprocate that to me for me to remember that person. But I was playing. I have a shitty memory, so maybe that person was amazing. I just don't remember them.
Have you run into that often? Well, as of late, Michele?
No, I have not.
Fair enough.
You remember everybody, or everybody remembers? Yeah, you remember everybody?
No. No. Because, I told you guys who I didn't remember.
Right.
So, no, I don't remember everybody.
I got you. So, from what I understand, Michele, you are a fan of going to the movies, and you've seen a couple things as of late. Are these? Oh, let me rephrase. Are these movies in the theater, or were you watching these at home?
They're in the theater.
So tell me about that. Are you going to like an AMC, Regal? Like, what's the theater out there? Like, tell me about the chain and all that.
It's a Bistro movie theater, AMC.
Okay.
And very nice. I go sit down. If I want to order something, I order it. Usually you have to be there 30 minutes prior to, so you can get your food on time or whatever you order. Usually when I go, I don't go there to eat. I'm going there to watch the movie, and I like to go later because there's not a lot of people there. So I've seen several movies. The first one I saw was 80 for Brady.
Okay.
How was that?
So, I heard that made quite a bit of money.
Yes, I went and saw it the first night, and I loved it because there's a show on Netflix that I used to watch called, it's either Grace and Frankie or Frankie and Grace.
Yeah.
And I love that. Absolutely love it. So they were in it, Jane Fonda and the other lady,
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin was in it, and I liked them. So I went to see it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
What was it about?
So apparently it's a true story. That this lady was a fan of Tom Brady's, and they get together every year. When football season comes around, they get together and they sit around and they have their chips and dips and stuff, and they put the Patriots, gear on and root for Brady. Well, Lily Tomlin, she was previously diagnosed with cancer.
In real life or her character?
Her character.
Okay.
And so she thought the cancer was came back because she had received a letter, but she never opened the letter. and they wanted to go to the Super Bowl. And so there were some guys, I guess talk show guys, they were doing a contest to give free tickets. So she pretended that they won the free tickets, but in all actuality, she went into her savings
Mm-mm,
and bought the
mm-mm,
tickets for the Super
mm-mm.
Bowls for her and her
No,
friends.
absolutely not.
And
No.
Sally Field was in it too. And Sally Field lost the tickets, and they had
So
to find them.
they
It
they
was
had they
just
had to they had to shake a little something to get up in there, huh?
yeah. So
So and then you and Matt also saw Plane, not together, but you both seen it.
yes,
So
it
Matt
was
gave
a.
us a little bit of a rundown last week.
So Matt, did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It gave me like an old school 1990-ish type of action movie.
Yeah, it was filled with a lot of action. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but once it started, the action started coming on, I was like, wow. And it had me jump a couple of times.
Hmm.
At the end, I did cry a little bit,
Matt
but
too.
I
Matt,
don't
I
know.
didn't.
Matt, and Gerard Butler was crying.
Matt, you cry?
No, no.
No, I'm messing with him.
So
I,
I don't, but I recently lost my grandmother. She passed away. She was 98 years old. She died a few weeks ago. So I
I'm
don't
sorry
know
for
if,
your loss.
Yeah,
so
sorry,
I don't,
Michelle.
thank you. So I don't know if I was sitting in the movie and I started crying because I was thinking about my grandmother or what. I don't know what correlation that had, but I know I was crying. I was like, oh, but it was a really good movie. It was really good. They did a phenomenal job in
But no,
it.
I know exactly how you feel because when I went to go see Black Panther 2, my father and grandmother died. Like they died in June of last year, and I haven't processed those feelings. So when he died or whatever, like I don't know if that wouldn't have happened, would I still cried in that movie? But
Yes,
unprocessed his feelings, which
yes,
made
you
even
Right,
would.
more
You
come out.
still would have cried.
right,
Yeah.
right. And then this last movie that I saw was called Marlow. And it was based like kind of like on, I don't know, 1940-ish, 50-ish style detective movie with Liam Neeson, which he's one of my favorite actors. But that movie sucked.
I was wondering. I was wondering.
I would not recommend that movie to anybody. And let me tell you, I always like to go to the later movies, like I said, because there's not a lot of people in there. I fell asleep in that movie. I don't know how much dialogue. I don't know how much dialogue I missed, but when I woke up, I didn't feel like I missed anything. And then finally, when I felt like, oh, the movie's getting ready to come to an end soon, let me just shake this off and watch this, because I paid my money. But it was horrible. I thought it was going to be good.
Hmm. That's not. I mean, I'm be honest. Like I saw the trailer for it. I don't remember what movie I saw, and I'm like, I like Liam Neeson, but ever since Taken came out, he's been doing the exact same thing, and I'm
Right.
good. I'm good. It's like whatever. If Liam Neeson is holding a gun, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Just because of like that's all he's been doing. Like he's played really interesting characters, but now this is all he's doing, and it's just I'm good.
Yeah. So that movie was a negative for me. Out of the scale of 1 to 10, it was a -10.
Damn.
It was horrible. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
So I text Matt the other night. For me it was morning, and for Matt he would have been sleep. And I text him something with the expectation to not hear back from him for like at least 10 hours. But this man responded like within 5 minutes, and I'm like, Matt, it's midnight where you are. What are you doing? What were you doing?
I was out here in these streets, and being out here in these streets, I don't like it out here. Um, I don't. I just like being at home. I'm trying to at going places in the daytime, no problem. I just don't like being out at night. Like my boy hit me up. He wanted to hang out, eat, drink, things like that. So I did it or whatever. But it was like I was regretting it all the way up, and I don't. I had no plans. It wasn't like I had plans or anything. But it's like I just don't like going out anymore. But do you guys go out? How often do you guys go out just to hang out at at night?
At night.
I don't hang out at night, but every now and then I have a friend that want to hang out at Applebee's for a few hours. And we
Mm-hmm.
go sit at Applebee's and, watch the big screen or whatever, or just, talk to a bunch of people at the bar. Like I'm that person now.
I mean, I've never been somebody that's like the nightlife, even when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the if I'm out late nowadays, it's like Michelle, I went to the movies, or like I went to some sort of event. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, friend of the show, Amy, she took me to see Six. And so while it was a short show, I got home later than I would have liked to have.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah, but with all that being said, even though once I got out there with my friends or whatever, it was fun. Like I had a good time. We went to an izakaya. That's like a pub slash bar, whatever. It's not like a full blown restaurant. You're not gonna get a steak there, but they got drinks, they got food, what they call like shareable foods, where you can get karage, edamame, oh, fried chicken, and then like these pea stuff. Oh, sorry, I had to realize who my audience was. That's Japanese. But like you get the yakitori. That's like the meat on the stick stuff, and you all share it with everybody and things like that. So we ate, talked, drank there. Then we went to go hit up these bars and stuff. But I had a good time. But leading up to it, I didn't like it. I don't like. I'm just gonna be not a night person. I'm gonna stay at home or do this like once a month type of thing.
But the whale, Matt.
Yes, I had a chance to catch the whale with Brandon Fraser. Um, this movie is. Let me get the right word. This movie is not good. But no, hold on. What I'm saying, not good in meaning like it's it's depressing. This movie is depressing, and there's nothing about this movie is uplifting. Nothing about this movie is empowering. Like this is a sad movie with no like that. Um, the general thing is you have a obese person uh, trying to reconnect with his daughter. That's the easiest way I can say that without giving detail. Um, but the first thing I want to admit is because Eric, when this movie got premiered and everything, they was talking about Brendan Fraser and this acting and all this other stuff, right? Chad, you heard about how good and he was nominated for all this stuff, right?
Yeah, it was yeah, I've heard about that stuff.
Oh no. Uh, Hong Chai CHA. She was the lead waiter in Menu. You
Yeah,
know what I'm talking about?
yeah, and I'm gonna talk about her on one of my things too.
Motherfucker, she killed this shit. She, like Brendan Fraser, got all the acknowledgments of this acting shit. Oh no, no, no. She carried this fucking movie, in my opinion.
Off the top of your head, do you know if she's nominated for supporting actress or lead actress? Off the top of your head.
She was nominated for supporting. Well, she is a supporting actress in this, but
Okay.
she might be part lead. She might be co-lead on this.
Well,
But
no. I mean,
her,
you know how like sometimes they will submit you for supporting so that you aren't going against heavy hitters.
maybe that's what they did. But
But she's going against Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis and the daughter from Everything Everywhere at Once.
yeah, so maybe that's why they put her in for supporting. But her acting was amazing in this. But Brandon Fraser did his thing too, but I was just blown away by how good her acting was. Also, you have the girl from Stranger
Stranger
Things in there,
Things.
Fatty Sink. Uh, yeah, it was overall. It was. I don't know how to describe this movie. It's sad because you're sad a lot through this whole. Well, 99% of this movie, you're sad. You're sad about the way all these characters are and things like that. It's a very depressing movie. But there is one part of this movie where, as soon as they showed this, my first thought was, is this real? Is this how these people are? Or are they just doing stereotypes? Okay, so he is morbidly obese person at home. Things happen. I'm not going to get into details, but then he gets very upset. So you know what he does when he's very upset?
He eats.
He eats. And when I say he eats, he eats. He was doing crazy things to where he ate up 2 boxes of pizza. Then took he took a piece of bread, threw some chips on there, threw another piece of bread, which I've done this before as a kid, and then he ate that. Then he threw some jelly on top of that and ate that. And I'm like, is this
Oh,
how
I don't.
people do this, or is this like a stereotype thing,
I
or what
don't.
they think people do? But I was like, he did it because he was upset.
I don't know if I want to watch this. That sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very sad. I know that there's parts where they want to like try to uplift you and show you these different things, but it was like I felt sad for everybody in this movie, every single person.
Hmm.
But I still recommend you to watch it to get your own opinion on there. But I'm glad I watched it. But I will never watch this movie again.
Did you,
It's like a go
hmm.
ahead.
I was gonna ask, at any point did you like get teary eyed?
No, I mean I can see the parts where I'm supposed to like, but it was just like I was just sad and depressed. Not sad and like emotional. I was just sad at these characters and what they had to go through and what they were going through to where I wasn't emotionally invested into it to cry up. But I could see how plenty of times throughout this where people will cry and things like that. But it was just like it wasn't hitting me in my feels. But the acting, I give it to him for the acting and that stuff like that. But it's off the top of your head, have you heard any backlash for this movie?
No,
Okay.
but
Um,
I'm not saying that there isn't any. I'm just saying I haven't heard any.
because I can see there could be backlash about obesity and all this stuff. I can see backlash of them about homophobia. Uh,
Is it set now?
we'll say like maybe a couple years ago. Oh, I'm basing this off this by the technology they had in there, so
Okay.
probably like a couple years ago.
I mean, I've never really seen any of those like my 600 pound life or anything.
I
But I
love that
was
show. I was gonna ask about, it kind of sounds like what they do on 600 Pound Life. They just
yeah,
eat. And
yeah, I
I
was gonna
just,
yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah,
and you get the backstory, their backstory, but it's like everyone on that's 600 pounds or over, they've always been molested or something happened to them to cause
hmm
them to get to this point. But it's
hmm
like the food that they eat, they can eat 2 boxes of pizza, a whole two whole pizzas. Like at some point, your mind somewhere, something's got to tell something that like I'm full. You just eating to be eating, and then you got to depend on somebody to clean you. And nah, bruh.
Is
Mm-mm.
yeah.
is the woman from the menu, is she like his nurse or something?
She is is his friend, and she is a nurse.
Okay.
So, but then also she like what I felt was like I don't know nobody in a situation like this, but like she's the one who's like trying to help him. She's taking his vitals and things like that, recommending stuff to him. But then she's also enabling him because like whenever she come over, she brings him 2 meatball sandwiches with extra cheese on there.
Oh no.
So it's like she's helping him. She's trying to do this, but then she's also feeding him the stuff that like all this stuff that
Yeah,
he's should
enabling
be
them.
doing.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I really would like for you to watch this, Chad, so to get your thoughts on it. But it was just sad. But yeah, shout out to Han. She
Yeah.
was good at this stuff.
So, Michelle, and back in the day, did you ever watch Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd?
Yes.
So I saw a YouTube video, kind of like a retrospective on it, and I heard of it. Like I heard that gave Bruce Willis like his start, and I
Mm-hmm.
also heard that it's a prime example of like television shows where they go downhill once the two leads get together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided to watch it. I've only seen the first two episodes so far, and it's a kind of cool little detective show.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got a Columbo thing where like at the beginning of the show, you know who did it, but you don't necessarily know why.
Right.
And every scene that Bruce Willis is in, he is just on. And I'm like, I could see how he became like a big star from this. There are some stuff that I have to push through on because this was made in the 80s.
Right. Right.
What
Um,
made you start watching this?
it was a YouTube video I saw that did like a little
Oh, okay.
retrospective on it because there's
Oh,
been
okay.
like sprinkles of content about Bruce Willis because of everything that's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, it's a cool little show. Like I intend to push through. It's apparently there was a lot of strife behind the scenes. Like they were they would like basically this show ran for 4 years on network television in the 80s when shows was getting 20 and 30 episodes a season, but each season like the most episodes and it's like maybe 15 episodes if you're lucky, because like
Oh,
they would like go over time a lot. Like back in the day they would have advertising jokes about like come watch the next episode of Moonlight. It might be new. We don't know when they're gonna finish filming an episode. Like Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis didn't like each other in real life, and so that kind of delayed shooting stuff too. And then like once Die Hard came out, it was fucking over. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But no, it's a fun show. Like the second episode, they were hired. A hitman hired them to find another hitman so that he could kill them. So it's a fun show. So in that same train of like I want to watch a detective show, I watched the second episode of Poker Face, and that had old girl from the menu on it. Like she's playing a trucker with like a giant mole on her face. And I was like, why does this woman look so familiar? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I see you.
right.
But no, it's a really fun detective show. Like also, same thing, Columbo vibe. Like you know who did it at the beginning. You even know why he did it at the beginning. But the whole thing is like, how is this person going to get caught?
Okay.
So yeah, two fun detective shows. Moonlighting is on YouTube. Apparently, like because of like licensing with music and stuff, it's not on any streaming services right now. But somebody uploaded all the episodes to YouTube, and Poker Face is on Peacock.
But I know we're about to transition to a great show, but I forgot to mention another great show I watched. I had a chance to check out Boba Fett, and I know,
Yes, that beacon of quality.
right, and I know with our group chat, Chad, you were saying you guys this was not one of the best ones, or not a good one at all. But I like Book of Boba Fett. Uh, Boba Fett itself is not a good leader. He's weak in my mind. I think Fennec Shan, I'm talking about his sidekick.
Ming Na Wen.
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, the actress name.
She was Mulan.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she should be the leader of this and everything. Uh, is her character in Star Wars? Is she like somebody? Could they make her own show about her?
I mean, the problem with her character is she's been dragged down by Boba Fett.
Oh, oh. Well, she needs to break away from him and do her own thing because I would like to see her running some shit. But I'm on my. I watched this unintentionally because I wanted to watch. I want to see Sasha Banks, and I know she was in a Star Wars movie, but then I started watching that thinking it was Boba Fett, but it turned out she's in the Mandalorian. So I finished watching this. So I'm gonna watch Andor first because you guys told me that that's a better show. But then
Yes.
I'm gonna watch Mandalorian. I also said they have a new season of Mandalorian coming out, right?
I think it comes out in March.
All right, perfect. So by the time I finish that, by the time I finish Andor and then watch Mandalorian, the other season should be out then. So I'll catch up on that.
Right.
So those are only three Star Wars movie or TV shows.
Live action right now.
Okay. All right. Oh, also for the I know I told you, Chad, but I tell the listeners, uh, Baby Yoda sucks. All right, and I don't see why I got all that attention that y'all said. He's Gomi as they say. But also I haven't seen him in Mandalorian. I only seen him in Boba Fett. So we'll
Well,
see my feelings change.
well, I told you offline, like, yes, when Baby Yoda first hit the scene, everybody's like, oh, but as things kept going along, he was like doing some real like asshole things. And it's
Mm,
like, this isn't cute. Like, this isn't cute anymore. Like, no, you can't
yeah.
act like this and then be like America's sweetheart.
But yeah, from one great show to another, Chad, what was your thoughts on Last of Us episode 6?
It's another solid episode. Like, well, it's more than solid. It was excellent. There's a scene where the lead character Joel, he's basically he has a speech where he's saying like he's getting too old to do this, and like his body's failing him. He's gonna die. He can't do this anymore. And like I'm on the verge of tears. Like, give this man his Emmy right now. And secondly, like it was just hitting all the it was hitting all the feelings, man. Hitting all the feels. And then like the
Because when
very huh?
no, when you said that, that was before I watched it. So I came prepared because I told the wife, I was like, hey, Chad and Jared said this movie hit him in the feels. So I was like, get the tissue ready. And I watched it and I was like, well, the wife left halfway through it. But then she came back, she's like, did you cry? I was like, no, I think I might have missed that point. So I was waiting for you to explain that's the point that made you tear up.
Yeah, like
I thought it was gonna be later on the part where he was like when she was like, you're not my father, and they had the whole argument and everything else like that. He's like, you're not my daughter thing.
no, like that. I don't know, man. It's just like like I told you, like this show puts me in a weird headspace. And
Mhm.
so like I'm just like if the shit went down. Well, okay, let's roll back for half a second. So do you remember when Ellie goes to the house and they had that little memorial for Sarah and the new wife's kid?
Right.
And I'm not sure if you paused it and looked at the dates, but her son was 3 years old when he died.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
And he died like 2 days after the outbreak. If
Damn.
you were to go back and pause, because like the
Hmm.
outbreak day was Joel's birthday, the day Sarah died, and he
Hmm.
lasts 2 days longer, and like that's just some shit. Like if like the shit went down, it's like obviously as a parent, my number one priority is my daughter, and it's like I don't I don't even know if I could handle all that shit myself, but then I also have to like look out for her. And like she's just so little, man. And it's just like he's like, I can't fucking do this.
Hmm.
Like I'm going to die. I can't do this. And it's just like that's the shit that goes in my head when I watch this show, especially it comes on at night. So I watch it at night. And
Hmm.
those are the thoughts I'm going to bed with.
I'm gonna have
I
to
told you
watch
to.
it because my son and my oldest daughter have told me that that's a show that they're watching. So, and they
it's
said it's
excellent
good.
writing.
So this is like
Right.
the third time I've heard about, The Last of Us. So I'm gonna have
Yeah,
And
to
they
check it out.
and this ain't no one where one up is good episode and the next one falls off. So far, every episode been hidden.
yeah, it's like, did you ever watch Game of Thrones? You watched Game of Thrones, right? Where like the show is just like bang, 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 because like this is not like original content, like their source material. So like they're picking and choosing what's working.
Hmm.
So like and also like this has like a finite story. Like there's a point to this and then we out. So this is a 2, maybe 3 episode series, and they're done.
Seasons.
Yeah, I'm sorry, seasons. Yes, but no, like that speech hit me. I was just like, I understand everything you're saying right now, my guy. And then the very next scene, him and Ellie have a conversation. I'm like, this girl want an Emmy too? Y'all just
Yeah. Yeah, she was cooking on that one. Yeah.
like, oh my God. When she's like, look, man, like, I'm not your fucking daughter, dog, but like, you not about to leave me. Like, everybody in my
Right.
motherfucking life has left me. All right. Like, I'm like,
Right.
I just got through crying. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing, guys?
See, and I remember like before where when they did the casting, it was like, I'm not sure if she can. No, sorry. What's her name?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey. This is Matt here from We Used to Talk About This at Work. I want to apologize. I was unfamiliar with your skills in your game. I apologize. I see what level you at now. So that was my mistake at the beginning.
But yeah, it was a good show. Like, I was talking to somebody that wasn't even aware this was a video game, and they were like, is Joel dead? Like, what's happening here? And I was like, I can't answer that question. You gotta wait and see. But I hope you're not homophobic, because it's about to be some gay shit next week.
But I will say, imagine the acting we just saw now. Wait till the acting we see once we get to the hospital. All that stuff going on. Oh my fucking God.
The internet, half the internet is gonna be on fire.
Right. Yeah. That's because that's what I waited for. Ooh, I just got goosebumps thinking about that.
The way this season's gonna end, Michelle, you need to get on this train.
Yeah.
We will talk about that as we get to it. But yeah, well, let me rephrase. I hope that you're ready for more gay shit, because I forgot there was some gay shit at the beginning of the season. Episode 3.
You can edit this part out, but what's I remember that part. What's the new part coming up?
Ellie's a lesbian.
No, that, but I'm just saying. No, I remember. Oh, but she didn't. When did she meet?
Well, no, that's not relevant. I'm talking about that black girl. That's from the game. Like that whole mall sequence. That's a date.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I'm thinking later on in the season. I mean, in the game. Okay. So that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we gotta deal with there's the woke people trying to get Last of Us, and it's just gonna be like,
first we gotta see 2 men, now we gotta see 2 women. What's next? Transgender people? Yes, in season 2.
Like this is part of the game. They're not adding shit to this. Were you able to catch Bel-air?
No, the week got away from me because it came out Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the week.
They dropped 3 episodes.
Yeah, like why would you do that on a second season? I get it, the first season you drop that out, but we have an idea what this show is. Just give us one episode. I mean, I wouldn't have watched it because of the week I had, but I'm just saying.
Do you plan on watching it?
Yeah, we're gonna do Bel-air around it. Have you watched it?
No, and it's just like,
you tired?
I'm not sure if I want to watch it, because I'm like, I get it, like I don't know, like I have mixed feelings about if I want to watch it or not. Like as a series as a whole. Now I'm not talking about like actors or anything like that, but series as a whole, if I want to go back or go through this process again.
I get it. We were different people when we were watching season 1. I get it.
Right. So I'm just like,
yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
This week we discuss somebody I used to know.
I still think about what would have happened if you hadn't left all those years ago.
I've been kind of wondering the same thing recently. Like if maybe I made the wrong decision.
What a wonderful thing for us all to be here. So thank you to the bride and groom for giving us a reason to celebrate. To Sean and Cassidy.
I need to see this through, whatever it is.
You mean like with you and the groom?
I mean, we can just call him Sean. Hey, you're still here. If my being here is making you uncomfortable. No. It wouldn't be very cool of me to kick out one of Sean's oldest friends.
Matt, tell us, what is this movie about?
It is about Anna de Armas. She's in this. Oh, sorry, Alison Brie. Sorry, being naked in all these movies confused me. It's about a TV producer, owner, writer, whatever you want to say, goes back home, meets her ex, and turns out that this person may or may not have feelings. So she pursues what may or may not be a future, and that gentleman. Let me start all over. It's about a woman who goes back home, meets an ex, and feels like she still has feelings for her, and then she pursues those feelings.
That's pretty succinct.
Right off the bat, I was like, is Alison Brie now? Let me say this: we all know I love Alison Brie and everything she does. So this is not a knock. This is just an observation. Besides the whole nudity scene and her running and things like that, I did feel like there was a conscious attempt to not sexualize her, but like the whole like her titties out in all the scenes and things like that, and then mixing her being the boobs out and things like that. It was like a very pointed sexualization of Allie in this movie. So I was kind of like, is this a way for her to break away from her nice girl role that she's been in before? Or is this just a character she's playing now, where this one was like, because like the over sexualization of this character didn't make sense to the character, just for the simple fact that when she was younger, she was a nudist.
I mean, the very first episode of Glow, she was naked, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. So I don't know, but I'm saying like this was over. Like, you don't think this was overdone with the boobs and her? Like, even when she went to the wedding rehearsal, like that looked like lingerie she was wearing with her titty was out.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Right. But with that being said, I enjoyed this movie. I'm so glad that her and Abed got back together on screen from Community. I love that. I love, like, when they first saw each other, I was like, they back. Let's get Donald Glover in here too. We can make some things happen.
Oh my god, that would have been if he would have played if he would have played the love interest dude.
Right.
Ooh,
Right.
it would have been over.
Right. But it hit on the rom-com tropes and things like that. But I'm glad that she did not end up with him, because that would have been too formulaic of a rom-com for Allie to be with. I forget the guy's name.
Sean.
Sure, Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah. But overall, I enjoyed it through the whole thing. I was entertained. I chuckled at some stuff too. So overall, I enjoyed it.
Michelle, what'd you think of this movie?
It's not a movie that I would have typically picked. I had never heard of it. I don't even know any of the characters that you guys are talking about. I don't know the backgrounds. But once I did watch the movie and got into it, I did enjoy the movie. Not because of the nudity or anything like
well,
that.
Nobody said they enjoyed the nudity. We was like, what the fuck? Why is this in this movie?
The storyline. But I mean, like, I get it. Like, she was a nudist or whatever, and she and the young lady, like his fiance,
Cassidy,
they bonded. They felt like they had something in common. Like, that's who she was in the past. That's why the movie is called Somebody I Used to Know. But like I said, I did enjoy it. It wasn't something that I would have just picked, off the rip. But it was a fairly good movie. It had a good storyline and everything. So I am glad, like Matt, that she did not end up with Sean, because I don't think that it wouldn't have worked, because she wasn't going to stay where she was anyway. And he's the type of person, he wanted his woman to be, where he was with him until he thought he was about to lose Cassidy.
Uh-huh.
But old girl tried it though. Allie tried it. She tried
I
to
thought
sabotage.
when she went into Cassie's room or whatever to talk and everything, and they apologized, and then Cassie kissed her. I was like, oh, they about to fuck. And then they like they woke up in the bed together, and I was like, they still got clothes on, so I don't think they fucked. But I was like, oh, they about to add an extra wrinkle to this plot.
Well,
And
when her parents came to the
wedding.
wedding, and she's like, oh, I'm surprised she's not marrying a woman. I was just like, wow.
We
It
we do
was
we doing this, y'all? We really doing this?
it was the
What you
movie.
mean?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How did you guys feel about Sean though? Like, what do you think he had mixed feelings, or
Mixed feelings about what specifically?
what was going on with Allie? Like, because he kind of led her on. He could have stopped that in the car that night, because like they said, he went to that bar or whatever that restaurant was because he knew
To
she
see
was going to
her.
be there. Yeah.
So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. Like, I don't think it's anything wrong with like wanting to see somebody from the past. Granted, you guys were in a long lasting relationship. The whole let's have an adventure around town, that is where I feel like he was giving off single person energy.
Right. But he had the opportunity to tell her that he wasn't. And also, I felt like maybe, and I know it's a movie, but he could have told her, hey, so and so told me you were here. It wasn't by happenstance that he was there, that, he just showed up and, oh, there's Allie.
Uh, that's fair. Um, that's
I
fair.
believe, I believe, in my personal opinion, I think Sean should have got with, like if I was in the movie, I should say, Sean could have ended up with Allie with a sort of simple
Also,
fact that like because she still loved him, he
right,
still loved her.
right.
She didn't want to be with him because of the you know, be a housewife thing. But then
But it's not even.
hypothetically,
It's not that he wanted her to be a
I
housewife.
mean, not a housewife, but he wanted her to stay when she wanted to do a career thing. But my thing is, once he thought about losing Cassidy or whatever, when all that happened, and the same, then he had the argument with Allie. So in his mind, he's reconciling everything. So at this point, he was like, okay, I understand the stuff with Allie, the stuff with Cassidy, and I shouldn't be doing this. I should let them live their own lives. So he could have went to Allie and been like, hey, I understand what you're saying, blah, 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 blah. You can do your own thing. I still love you. And they could have been together. And you can still do your job in LA and stuff like that.
So we're gonna take the long way around. So I also enjoyed this movie. I felt like this is, you know how I say I really like Hallmark movies, specifically
Mm-hmm.
Christmas movies, but they're rom-coms. And like this is what I wish that these movies would be, like, complicated. Like, we didn't go the easiest route. Like, the moment that Allie was like, I am going to go and be the videographer of this wedding because I am going to break this wedding up, I was like, oh, okay, we've been following the villain the whole fucking time. Okay, same page, All right, let's go. Like, I appreciate that nuance because it's like that's a fucking real thing, right? It's like there are people like that would actually do that. That's not so much outside of the realm of possibility. Like, she's back home after so many years, and she's like, you know what? Yes, I should. I walked out on the life that I should have had, and you know what? I'm gonna get it back any way I can. And if I gotta break a couple eggs, aka a relationship, I'ma fucking do it. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't like this character, but I'm with you. I'm with you on this journey. Like, essentially, if this were the Hallmark route, the main character would have been Cassidy.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I appreciate it from that perspective, but also, so Dave Franco wrote and directed this, and for the most part, he did a great job. But there are some layers that I feel like he added, but I don't think he had the know-how to really explore. Like, what's the husband's name? Jay Ellis.
Sean?
Sean is adopted. He's black and he was adopted into a white family. And you see how he went out of his way to find the only fucking black person in that small ass town. And so,
Hey,
like,
man, you got to group together.
no, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he was with Allie for all those years, and that didn't work out. And so he got on the app, and he found, and like, he married. He I know, like, there's complications to it, but like, after 6 months, he's getting married to this black woman, and he's trying to start his own little family and shit, his own little black family. And it's like, I feel like there's layers there as well. And so, like, I feel like, to come back to what you were saying, I think that's why he's more willing to fight harder for that relationship than I'm just going to go back to Allie, even though he knows that there's chemistry there. So
I see what you're saying.
That's kind of my take on that situation.
Did the jokes, like the potential jokes, land for you guys? Like Haley J. Osment's, the little brother stuff, his jokes for movie things, the mom having sex with her boyfriend. Like, was those jokes landing for you guys, or you just didn't like them?
I know people like the Haley Joel Osment character, so like, I get that. Especially, like, it's a small town, right? So who else is the mom gonna have sex with?
Right. Well, no, I mean, not the explicit teacher. I mean, the jokes of, like, every time she walks in, her.
I mean,
like,
that was a bit much. Like, I don't really get why was there so much nudity in this movie?
Right. That's part, like, I don't know. Like, remember the movie started off showing like a dick pic or something.
It did?
Yeah, remember when she was texting Sean and then she's like, oh, and then he said there, he's like, oh, a white dick. And then she was like, oh, must have changed his number. I was like, yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like when they were doing the TV show.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
But also, I like how Dave Franco like called in favors. Like, the two producers that were watching the show, like that black guy and that Asian woman, they're on that Apple TV Plus show After Party with Dave Franco and also the assistant of Allison Brie. The four of them are on that show together.
Oh.
So, like, they were just calling friends left and right to be in this movie. And I think that's funny.
Right. Hey, man, it's going to be the new Adam Sandler. I'm going to call my friends in to do these movies with me.
Yeah, they're a lot more competent, though.
Right, right.
But no, this is also, I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio when I learned that somebody I used to know was actually Allison Brie. Like, she was like, wait, she was saying that about herself. Like, she is somebody she used to know,
right?
Referring to Cassidy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
yeah. You said the lie.
I understand now.
But I did enjoy to where she was trying to trick Cassidy at the bar. She was like, yeah, I asked him a question and I just be silent and stare at him to get more information. And Cassidy was like, what are you doing? Why are you staring at me?
Right. Stop being weird.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do need to try that out sometime.
Just stare and be like
we're doing now.
Yeah. But what do y'all think the Rotten Tomatoes score of this movie was?
77.
I'll say 72.
Close. 73% with 77 reviews and a 62% audience score.
Damn, 62%? Damn.
Yeah. A lot of people not down with that interracial love, Oh, that's something.
And they should have been happy then that they didn't get together.
So I didn't like that. You know, when she was looking at a video from like when they were dating and shit, and it was like 10 plus years ago. I'm like, y'all couldn't have used like one of those Instagram filters to take his beard off.
I thought the same thing, 100%. I was like, why they got him looking exactly the same? Same
Right.
beard, same
Right.
everything. Could have
Right.
put a wig on him or something.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he
I
looked
mean the,
exactly the
the
same.
the problem is the beard has to go, and I understand he's not going to
Right,
shave it, but we literally have filters for that.
right.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So yeah, but all right, this week's trivia: Kelsey Clemens, that was the future wife, and Allison Brie have both lent their voices to the same animated property. Of the following, which was it? A, the Lego Movie; B, Scoob; C, Rick and Morty; or D, BoJack Horseman.
And this is not the same episode, just in general, right?
No, they're in the same episode or the same movie.
I
I'm
don't
not.
know
I'm not.
either one of them, so I'm just gonna just throw it out there and say Scoob.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with Kelsey's work. I know Allison Brie was in Rick and Morty, but I don't remember another female on that one. I go with Lego.
So funny enough, Allison Brie was in all four of these.
Mm.
So she getting her checks, but they were both on an episode of BoJack Horseman. Allison Brie is actually a lead on that show.
I've never watched it.
It's excellent, man. Netflix didn't cancel it, but the show's excellent. So I got a couple bullet points here, and then we're gonna get the hell out of here. Allison Brie, a self-professed nudist, used her experiences with naturalism in the writing and incorporation and incorporating them into her character. This marks the first collaboration between Allison Brie and Danny Pudi since they starred in Community. And I wrote this last one. Allison Brie makes a reference to getting canceled after 3 seasons, and that's a pretty good run. And I think that's a reference to her Netflix show Glow, which got canceled after 3 seasons.
Hmm. I like Glow. I love Glow, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix is on some bullshit, end of the day. All right, so that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming on, Michele. It was very nice talking to it was nice talking to you on air. We do talk offline.
Thank you. Same here. It was good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Matt.
Yes, thank you for being on. We much appreciate it. And it's always, I don't talk to you offline, so I'm glad I was able to talk to you.
Oh, we got to change that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got to change that. So.
But thank you so much for listening. Please like, rate, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page. We used to talk about this at work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Used to Talk Pod. Follow me on Letterboxd at BOW1213 and Matt at Mr. King 025. And I should have talked to you before I got to this line. I wrote on here next week we're gonna watch We Have a Ghost. Are we still doing that shit?
Why you gonna change your mind? We don't have to.
I'm just like, I don't want to watch a Netflix original movie. We know how this is gonna shake out.
Yeah. All right. Take it, stay tuned. We're gonna do something next week. We're gonna do something. And like always, I don't know if this is a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode. But whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.